It's hard earned in a cold world. Rumors of war and love turning rust. Tried many times, but my efforts got crushed. Gotta come back, blood, glory, and lust. No one said it's easy, only that it's a bust. That's why we making these real fresh cuts. If you ain't turn up, everybody build trust.
Yo, this is Dee Jay Doc, your friendly neighborhood DJ, spinning sound waves of rhythm and rhyme to weave a wonderful web of connection, created with courage and tested to produce trust. Welcome to the Trust Felt City podcast. Today on the show, I'm so excited to have my boy, K Drama.
Oh.
This man is the ultimate DIY artist, self-made, self-produced. I'm talking beat maker. I'm talking lyricist, performer, recording engineer, mixing and mastering, not to mention your own video and social media productions and all that. So I'm really excited, man, to chop it up with you today.
Excited, man.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people who follow you, they see how busy you are, how many shows you're doing, how much, output you're putting out creatively.
Yeah.
They might not even realize that you also hold it down all day long teaching as a teaching artist at Refresh Collective on the squad. And so I've appreciated being able to work with you over the past few years.
Yeah, likewise.
And so being right here at Owen Center for Learning in the studio classroom, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into this conversation, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh yeah, my honor, truly. Thanks for having me.
I always like to start it off. This is for me, this is for you, and this is also for all those listening. Just a moment of gratefulness.
Yeah.
And like, what right now in this current season of your life do you reflect on, and what have you been grateful for lately?
I'm grateful for I feel like I have a new burst of energy. Yeah, it's a good season where even though I've in some ways busiest I've ever been, I remember I used to get winded, just doing, I need sleep. I need, time to recharge and those things. But, I feel like I've been able to, really go the distance.
Yeah.
And, I think part of that is just cause I feel like creativity wise, I've just hit a new place where I'm like, ooh, I got this idea, and I want to do this. And just seeing that, in my students as well. And, that's just giving me inspiration. All right, hey, maybe work on our processes and cut out things that I don't really need to do and really hone in and focus on the things that bring me joy. And, so.
Wow. So a couple episodes ago, we had Quill the Messenger talking about his album, which you know about, the Midlife Crisis album.
Yeah.
So that's just encouraging, man, for all of us midlifers to know as an artist, you got your second wind right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll be like, I don't know if that second wind's gonna come.
It comes.
So I'm really happy to hear that, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
So I'm curious.
Yeah.
What got you hooked on hip hop?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think for me it was Crisscross.
Hey.
Yeah. I remember because I was into Michael Jackson as most 40 and up, 30 and up, 20 and up, but I was really into Michael Jackson. But then 91, I guess, 91, 92, I remember Jump came out and they had their clothes on backwards. And I think my mom was watching Good Morning America or something. They were being interviewed on there. And I'm like, yo, who are they? And then I heard Jump and the rest was history.
Yeah.
Like,
so did you ever go to school with your clothes backward?
No, but I thought about it.
You thought about it? I thought about it too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
They look cool, but just let them do
I thought I was gonna get too made fun of.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what's up. So Crisscross, we're talking early 90s.
Yeah.
And when did you really decide I am gonna be an artist?
So after my friend died, he was 13, died of a heart failure. I was a year older than him, 8th grade. And I just had this transformation to where I started following Jesus. And I went to a youth retreat and this guy was rapping at the youth retreat and he was rapping to a beat that I had recognized. I was like, yo, maybe I could write something to this beat. And then I went down this rabbit hole of just writing songs. And before I knew it, I was performing at my church. kids at school started hearing about me, so I would perform in the assemblies and different things, and just one thing it just snowballed really, and that's what got me into it.
And some people always ask me this because they'll be like, "Did you ever have a regular job?"
So yeah, I like to call it a traditional job.
Right. Okay. There you go.
So yeah, I've worked at, my first job was Kroger. So it was a bagger. I didn't want to be a cashier because I was like, I didn't want to handle money. I didn't want the drawer to ever be short. And I was like, well, baggers earn 50 cents less an hour. Yeah. But I don't got to worry about my drawer being short. So, so I did that. I actually worked at a music store, Sam Goody. It was, at our, now defunct mall, Tri-County Mall. And actually, I had an opportunity to put my CDs in that store on consignment. Even though it was a national chain, there was a way to get the local, artists in there. And that's what really, I think, expanded, like, oh, I could really do this, as a career. Yeah. So
what would you say is your most important accomplishment as an artist?
I think just being able to do it full time, do it as a legitimate career. Of course, that comes in many different ways. Like, I feel like there's all these little accomplishments that allow me to be able to do it full time. And I think for me, the ones that look like on the surface, those are the ones usually that have the least value. The ones on the surface is like, yo, that's dope. Those are usually the ones that are more like vanity metrics. And I feel like behind the surface, I'm just grateful to have a support system that's like, all right, I'm able to produce for these many artists, and they support me, by buying beats and different things, or booking me for shows, those kind of things. So I think just the longevity piece, because I've been doing music 17 years full time. I'm really grateful for that.
Man, that's super dope. So on that line, we talk a lot about on this podcast about trust and building trust. And trust as the basis for community development, trust as the basis for your classroom. So like teacher student relationships. But let's talk about it as an entrepreneur. You've been doing this for 17 years as an artist full time. That is an accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment. What is maybe one of your secrets to how do you build trust with other artists, those that you make beats for, that you could make beats for? Like when you're networking, like I don't know, man, like why do guys like you trust you to build these actually hire you to make beats for them? Because that's not easy though.
It's funny you say that, because I think a lot of times it's, how do I say this? Doing what I say I'm going to do. And I don't always do it right on the money. Like, I may tell somebody I'm going to have your beat done by Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. I'm not going to get this done. Communication, though. And I think a lot of times it's just the communication. Just rather, sometimes people hit me up because they communicated with another producer, or try to hit up another producer. That producer didn't respond to their email. Then they hit me up. I respond. And now I got someone who's bought 20 beats from me because I did what I said I was going to do. And even if, like I said, I didn't do it right on the money, right on time. Hey, sorry, I had some things come up. I should be able to get this done tomorrow. Those kind of things. And then there are a lot of horror stories in the music industry. And of course, I work in the Christian side mostly, but the amount of artists who've told me, hey, I paid this guy $1,000, $500 for a beat, and they ghosted me. I'm like, I just couldn't imagine working a whole shift for a week only for that money to just disappear. And so I never want people to feel like that. And I think about situations I've been in where people promised me things and I didn't maybe receive the compensation. Like, I've had record deals that went kind of bad and sideways. And like, I just never want someone to feel like that. Treat others the way you want to be treated, basically.
For sure, man. So, talking about trust building, like a couple of things that I didn't mention yet, is that through a lot of your just reputation that you're saying, like, you follow through.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing shows and churches and different venues for years.
Yeah.
And so what was it, this past year that you got inducted into the Christian Rap Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
So,
I was grateful for that.
Yeah,
man. That was dope. That was a fun moment, and it was cool seeing a bunch of other artists I came up in the game with that are still doing it, and I'm like, we're here celebrating each other, so it was cool.
So I'm hearing you building strong relationships, communicating, just doing what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I want to bring it to the fact of the teaching that you're doing too with Refresh Collective.
Yeah.
So you've taught in 2 different schools. We have Refresh Collective has studios in 2 different schools in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Aiken High School, where you taught the more advanced 201 course last year.
Yeah.
And then right here at Owen Center is the other school that you operate out of, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing right now.
That's what I'm doing currently.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah.
And so one thing I know about your reputation is that all the teachers, all the students, they're all about K-drama. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like people, they know you, they trust you, they love you, like, and that speaks volumes, man. So it's like, again, what is some of your secrets to success? When Refresh opened its first studio, it was the precursor to this school, right? Lighthouse. So a brand new school, all new teachers. All of a sudden, they got this recording studio in the school. They got this new guy who's not even like a teacher from the school. He's from an external organization, Refresh. From day one, like, what was your secret to how did you build trust with each individual teacher and student to build that kind of reputation and flow?
I think for me, it was being intentional about my dress. Like, how am I dressing? Being myself, being authentic, but not trying to put on too much. Because sometimes students can sense that, like, oh, he's just trying to, I like to say this. I never like to do my best dunk first. If you watch the dunk contest, you want to do a good dunk,
right.
But save your best dunk for the finals.
Yeah.
So you can, and so for me, I think it was like, all right, putting my best foot forward, but trying to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think really just being patient, being kind, just things that we were already valuing outside of the classroom. Just put those things in context with the students, and I think you'll have success. Because you'll just be amazed at like how just simple things you think the average teacher would do. Not necessarily speaking about Lighthouse, but just in different schools. Yeah. You would think common practice, saying hello, not yelling at a student. Like, these are things that our students unfortunately had been through, and just kindness and being relatable, and those really, I think, took us a long way. Like, oh, they're who they say they are. They're not putting on a front. Oh, Mr. Regis, I noticed you don't curse. Yeah, I just don't. It's just not my thing. Or, not yelling. They're like, Mr. Regis, you don't yell at us. And I'm like, really? I don't? Like, and those are things I don't really think about. But when they're used to that and they're in an environment that's not like that, those things are going to stick out. So
tell us like a little more about the setting. So the first school that Refresh had a studio in was Lighthouse. Then now that studio got moved to Owens. And some of those students moved here, right?
Yes.
So this will be your fourth year teaching students in this school, basically, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What's maybe unique about this particular school? What's uniquely challenging for the students, in the school? Just kind of give us the backdrops.
Our student population learns in a different way. Don't think you just get up and lecture. I mean, you can't do that at the average school these days. Like, even though I appreciate a good lecture, I like just listening to someone talk about their expertise. But really, you can see the kids zone out pretty quickly if you try to break down a process. It's more coming on the side of them versus being in front of them. From our vantage point, we're trying to give them something fun, creative, that they can learn and have those transferable skills. So like, even in music, it's like, all right, what skills are you learning here that you can take to your job when you graduate, or just even does music complement English? Yeah. Does music complement math? It does, you know, and so I feel like our program supports the other core classes by reinforcing those concepts. And
what's some of the most fun moments in your class for students? Like in the span of a year, what are a couple of the activities that they really just shine and have so much fun?
So, man, I'll tell you, like, we talk about sounds just in general, and actually this happened very recently. We're in a classroom just talking about scoring a cartoon, and one of our students made a fart noise, right? And I'm like, yo, was that real? And he's like, nah, I made that with my mouth. And I'm like, oh, you need to do all the fart noises for the cartoon. Like, that's a job. Like, I'm like, how many movies, I mean, it's silly, but it's like, how many movies have a fart joke or a fart scene? And someone has to sound design that, you know? And so, you know,
so you just basically took the classic thing a teacher would have jumped on.
Yeah.
Discipline the student. Like, we don't do that. That's gross, whatever.
Yeah.
You actually turned that into like a fun learning moment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure nobody was bored that day.
No.
You had everybody's attention.
Yeah. And I think that's the joy of our class overall. Yeah. It's all the things you can't do in a traditional setting, they're welcomed in our class. Like, if you're fidgeting and beating on the table, stop doing that. No, we want you to beat on the table. We want you to make a beat. We want you to move around and stand up. We want you to be loud. We want you. And what I love here at Owens is they put us in a position to where we don't have to worry about noise, really. I mean, there's sometimes I have to turn it down, but most times they're like, just go, because the kids love their music loud. I mean, I'm getting a little older, so I like to turn it down. But they love playing music out the speakers, and they like the 808s to knock. And so I'm like, all of that is welcome in our environment.
So looking back over this past few years, like, what's just a student that you were working with that really just broke through some big challenges, maybe came out the box in a way that you just recognize, or they recognize transformation occurring, you know what I mean? Yeah. That you got to witness and support. Maybe tell us a story.
So we had a student our very first year, his name's Brandon. And he was a handful. Like, he came in, I remember he threw an orange juice carton, full of orange juice open. He like launched it at one of the faculty, and it got all over the floor. I'm like, this is gonna be a long year. Like, but he would come into music class and he was interested. Like, he rapped outside of school, and he recorded a couple of his songs. We were kind of like, I don't know about this content, but one thing I think that built trust is we found ways to critique without tearing down. Constructive criticism. It's not necessarily what you're saying, it's how you're saying it in a lot of, so it's, again, find that lowest common denominator. Like, all right, maybe we can't use the F word to express our excitement or anger. Let's find another word that still has that potency, but still gets your emotion across. So, and that's just life skills in general, And so eventually, I think over time, he was the one who really embodied that message. Like, all right, I can still rap about street stuff and stuff I've been through, but I don't have to use profanity to get my message across. And some of his songs, I literally cried in the studio after he recorded one. And unfortunately, he passed away that same school year. So like he was in and out of school, and then he wasn't coming anymore. And I had just talked to him like a week prior about getting him a whole demo recognized by Cincinnati Public Schools, because we have these things called seals, and he had made double the amount of songs needed for the seal. So I'm like, well, let's get you one of your graduation requirements because you've already done the work. And he was like, yeah, I'm on board, da, 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 da. And then about a week later, I found out he got murdered, And so I think that's why our program is so important. It's because we want to reach kids sooner to where their behaviors start to change and they feel motivated to come to school or to engage in good activities.
Yeah.
Because we all have those opportunity costs. If you're not doing something productive with your time, you might be doing something not productive with your time. And so I think a lot of the students now, our program is part of the reason why they want to come to school. I may not like Bell 1 and 3, and I may not like my teacher in this Bell, but I love music class, and I get to be, if I'm willing to go through all of that discomfort and to be in that class for 50 minutes a day. So,
Yeah, man. How did you get through just the fact of losing a student like that? You know what I'm saying?
It was community.
Yeah.
Like, just all of our teachers came together. I remember Refresh. We had a day where we all hopped on the Zoom, and we just had moments of silence, and if anyone wanted to share anything, and that just meant a lot. Like, hey, none of us are going through this all by ourselves. No one is on an island. We all sharing this pain. We all got to work with this student. So, I think I still think about it to some extent with sadness, because I'm like, there's a mother without a child. There's a brother without a sibling. There's just so many things. But I think, like, it's knowing that we were able to work with him and have those positive moments. Like, I don't look back on his life and think about all the bad things or all the troubling things or challenging things. I think about the songs he recorded. He left a legacy with those songs. And so, I think having that and having community is what really helped us get through that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, you've been doing just amazing work, you know
Appreciate
what I'm saying,
you,
day in, day out with the students, and keeping your professional music on the rise at the same time. So definitely look up to you for that, man,
Appreciate
and everything
it.
you're doing. How has this past, few years working with students, like, transformed you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where did you gain a spark? And how would you describe some of your own personal growth and experience?
So I think for me, there are just things I don't see in myself that I kind of take for granted, that the kids are like, they just point out things in me, and I'm like, oh, you noticed that? Or like, and I think those things built confidence in me to pursue them more. So like, I knew I was good at production, but sometimes I dealt with like that imposter syndrome of like, I've made beats for people and I just got lucky, but like, I'll make a beat in class just as a demonstration. I can see their eyes get big or their mouths drop, like, yo, he's doing all, and I'm like, I thought the average person, I'm not doing anything special here, until I realized like maybe I am doing something that's unique to me. And so, that's helped me grow as a producer, as a rapper. I take things for granted, like just being able to write a song.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can sit down, think of a concept. I can write fairly quickly, go in a booth, record it. And I'm like, oh, these are all different skills that I've just honed over the years. That, like I said, I just think the average person can do. And even just being confident in going in the booth. Like, because some of our students are like, well, I'm shy. I don't want to go in there. I don't like my voice. So I think there's so many, I reverse engineered that, and I'm like, well, there's so many skills you can teach within our classrooms at Aiken, here at Owens. They're able to learn, like, if you're in this class and you really embody the experience, you're going to leave with 8 or 9 different things you may not have been as strong at before you entered this classroom. And I'm speaking from experience as a teacher, kind of having that out of body experience, like, looking at myself like, oh, I'm a student still. Cause I still very
learning.
much feel like a student. And I learn from them, like, what do they like?
Yeah.
And I don't hear the young people's music and be like, what is that? I mean, some stuff I'm like, y'all listen to that? Like, but for the most part, I hear songs and I'm like, wow, that's deep, or that's powerful. And, I think sometimes kids get a bad rap, students get a bad rap. And I'm like, nah, I feel like even the hardest students or the most challenging students, there's some good inside of them that I get to experience on a regular basis, like these sweet moments. You like that song? Like, I mean, just in class today, we were singing the one song, If I Could Fall Into the Sky. And I'm like, y'all like that? Like, I was like, that doesn't seem like your aesthetic on the outside.
Right.
And so, yeah, I remember even Brandon, like, I remember one time he sung My Little Pony in class. And I'm like, same guy who, nah, you wouldn't assume that about him. Like, so they're kids at the end of the day. And I think that's even helped me as a parent because I'm teaching kids that are my age. Because I have right now an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 13-year-old. And so, like, some of the things that I'm learning in them has helped me to have better relationships with my kids at home.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, one encouragement I have for you, man, is kind of along the lines of what you were saying, how your confidence grew even in class with students, you know, even though you've been a professional artist for years. And you put in your reps. You put in your reps on stage, lyric writing, beat making, all these different skills, mixing. You put in all your reps. And like, I feel like at this phase of your development and growth, it's like now it's not about how good can you get at any one of those skills. It's all about the tweak. It's all about how am I combining these skills in a unique way, unique to me, unique to K-drama, to do what's next in, you know, what's next for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm excited, man, to see how you make those little tweaks and harness all of what you've been building and what you know God's been building in you through all these years. Man.
I appreciate that.
You know, and it's awesome to see all that energy you still have. We touched on it, how you know you're one of those DIY hardworking artists. How do you have that energy at this phase of your career?
I don't know. I think part of it is like I love music. Like I still desire to do music. I have all these ideas. I have voice notes and things I write down. I watch, even like I can watch a commercial and I'm like, yo, I could flip that. Or like, so I think
just be on the social media, you'll see all kinds of stuff.
It's like stuff I'm just like, that'd be a good idea. And so I think part of the encouragement comes from just the fact that people pay me to do it. I think there's a encouragement, just like someone actually spent their hard-earned money on like, oh, I'm a part of their, like, what makes them happy and feel fulfilled. And I think because as a Christian, I just feel like I have a greater purpose. So I feel like God does give me that. He gives me the vision and the provision. So it's like, all right, like, well, if I'm gonna give you all these ideas, you got to have some way to execute them. And part of that is energy. And of course, part of that, I haven't been eating as good as I should, but I changed my diet some years ago. And that helps give me some energy too. And just trying to avoid negativity, because negativity drains me. Like, and obviously you're going to be in situations where like not everything's going to be smooth, but I think more so like situations where like I'm yelling at somebody or I'm, you know, we get angry, we get mad, but I think how you approach those situations can determine how much energy you have. Cause I'll tell you, like back in the day, like having an argument with somebody will just zap me for the rest of the day. I don't feel like being creative. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to go to sleep, you know? And I think recharging too is important. So like not working all day, having a schedule, spending my family recharges me, watching a good movie recharges me. Cause I watch movies from like an artistic point of view. Cause one day I think I would like to get into like making films, making short-term content, making commercials, you know, I enjoy that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I think those are ways I get recharged. And I think those give me the bandwidth. I'm like, if I do a little bit each day versus trying to cram 50 things into a 12-hour schedule, I think pacing is very important at this stage of my life.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to hear one more aspect of your work at Refresh. Can you talk about last year was your first time teaching the first Refresh Collective 201 course at the Aiken Recording Studio classroom, right?
Yep.
So these are advanced students. They already went through 101, learned a base set of skills, and then they're in the 201 course. How could you just overcap what that year was for those students? And also, how did it end at the final show?
Yeah, so
which was amazing.
Yeah, so I had already met some of the students when they were in 101. So admittedly, coming from Owens to a more traditional setting, I was a little intimidated. And I think this is where my confidence grew even more, because I'm like, oh, the same stuff I'm doing at Owens is getting the same reaction at Aiken, which was cool. So like I came in, and I had I think I had 16 students in two classes. So I taught 2 bells. And really our goal was to just create demos, these more like EPs.
Yeah, so each student created their own EP, right?
Yep. And that was, they were, if they completed this successfully, they can use this as one of their graduation requirements. So every CPS student in Cincinnati has to get 2 seals, and making a music demo is one. So my goal was, let's make a demo and let's make it as good as we can. So let me give you teachings from my experience as a DIY artist, in hopes that it will inspire you to either allow this to be a creative outlet in your life, or I think some of our students could really pursue this full time as a career and be successful at it.
So when you think of making a demo, a lot of artists will write a song, get someone to make a beat, send it to the studio. But for this program, who mixed the song?
So a lot of it was just student led. I would make some beats and we would make group songs. But I told them, I was like, I don't want your demos to be just group songs. I want your personality all over this. So some of them used only one group song for their demo, and they made 6 solo songs. And usually that student made their own beats. So they made the beat, they recorded themselves, they wrote the songs, they recorded, they mixed. So that was really encouraging to see. They made their own artwork. So at the end of the year, we were able to perform some of these songs. Some were group songs we made, but then some were solo songs that they made, or collaboration songs that they made, and we performed some of, I won't say the best ones, but we report the best ones that could be performed. Because some of my favorites were like slow songs that were just full of passion but we performed like a 10-minute set during our spring showcase, our fundraiser showcase. And that was really, seeing them, because they wanted to perform all year, especially one particular student, Isra. She was like, are we going to be able to perform? I'm like, we're working on it. And then we had a date set, but then we had to postpone it. So they were kind of like, are we going to be able to perform? And so it came together at the end. It was, an amazing time that we had. It was good seeing a one-on-one stuff. I was like, man, they're 201. Well, now we're in the school year, but I was like, the next 201 is going to be amazing. Like, cause these students already sound great.
So how did it feel walking out on stage and just performing with their energy that evening?
Oh, it was great. I felt like the supportive dad. Like, it felt like my kids out there, and I just wanted to hype them up. I just wanted to support them and make them feel like, hey, this is your moment. Relish in it, cherish it, make the most of it. And I couldn't have been more proud. Like, they memorized their lyrics. They didn't succumb to the nervousness. Cause I always tell them, like, it's okay to be nervous. It shows that you care. You know, I still get nervous, a lot of times before I get on stage, but it usually goes away the moment I start performing. And the more confident you are in your lyrics, because you've worked on, you've practiced, you've memorized your movements and your gestures, you're only gonna go higher on stage. But if you don't practice, you don't memorize, you don't take it serious, you're going to be nervous, but then you're going to probably go backwards because you're going to mess up on a line and then you're going to feel like you failed. No one did that in any of the groups. And so I was really proud of everybody for putting in their best effort and taking it serious.
Yeah.
But giving up is not my cup of tea. Boy, I'm so glad I did not try to eat grammar cutlery. Ain't saying never like a plea. Giving y'all a summary metaphorically. Seen a lot of rainy days, but I thank God for the summer breeze. Let's go.
قدش وعى الناس كل الناس عندها احساس خليك تنفع لنا ننتس محترمه من حراسك ينبت يوم مخنوق خدك انفاس فوق ارتاح جست ريلاكس بيتك فيها احلى العكاس المهم قلبك الماس.
Let's go. Hey, we started some. Yeah, we started some. Come on. We started some. Yeah, we started some. Let's go. We started some. Yeah, we started some. Say it with us. We started some. Yeah, we started some.
Starting new when I'm ready to go. Cause of all the things that we undergo. My flow is beautiful like my role. Look at the way that it overflows. The state of all of the debts I owe. Lesson learned, no give and go. Just got back and I'm ready to blow. Time to lock in and get that dough.
Come on. We started some. Yeah, we started some. Hey, we started some. Yeah, we started some.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation, man. Just to chop it up, you know, a little bit about your music history as well as the teaching you've been doing at Refresh.
Yeah.
So I got one final question.
Okay.
Just it's kind of a curious question: is what is one book, song?
Yeah.
You can even say movie
All right.
or album that has really inspired you and helped you kind of grow in this past season.
Actually, I'm a big podcaster. I love podcasts.
There we go.
Podcasts to me are like, it's like music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no music I mean, sometimes they have music, but
Oh, if you're liking this, subscribe to the Trust Bell City podcast.
So you know what I'm saying? So I would say the one I like really right now is called How I Built This by Guy Raz. Oh,
Love it. I've been listening.
yeah, every
Several
week.
years. Oh yeah.
And now I figured out how to. Now I'm on Amazon, so you get them a week early.
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
So
Okay,
I'm
I
like,
didn't know that trick.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Tim Ferriss, that one just dropped. So I'm like, I'm about to check that out. But yeah, so it's really talking about like the entrepreneurship journey and how do you stay motivated? How do you keep that energy? I think hearing success stories, especially the ones where, I mean, I like the stories where it seemed like they had no turbulence.
Right.
But I identify more with the ones that are like up, down. Cause especially in music, it could be very up, down. And so just knowing like they got over to the other side, because they didn't give up or, you know, they got a big break somehow.
Yeah.
I think those things have helped me as I've looked for those breaks in my career, in my journey. I'm like, God, I don't know. Like, should I quit right now? And I'm glad I didn't because like, you know, Refresh and teaching here and then some cool things I've been able to do musically. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't quit. And it's only up from here. So
man.
I'm excited.
So where can people find you? What's next for K Drama? How can they, you know, make sure they follow
So
you?
you can follow the next things I'm doing at KDrama513 on Instagram, Twitter or X, YouTube. I post videos on there. TikTok, just type in K Drama the rapper. I should pop up. Facebook, you'll find me. And I'm working on a new album. I'm trying to make like an album. Like I've been making a lot of songs, mixtapes. I made a couple EPs, but I really want to make an album, like a well thought out themed album. So I'm hoping to drop that sometime next year.
That's what's up.
I'm working on a book. So I'm working on a, like a memoir, just talking about my journey as an artist. And, you know, I have a lot of cool stories and I think it'll be a good book for people who are fans of my music and people who are just looking for that entrepreneurship, that encouragement. I think this book could be really cool for them. So I'm working on that. And then, yeah, man, I'm just excited to keep teaching and, teaching people how to make beats and write songs and keep doing concerts. And my youngest son just started rapping out of nowhere. He dropped 2 songs already.
Nice.
And I didn't even know he was interested in being an artist. So, I feel like now I'm like, oh, I got to shift gears. Like, I feel like, not that I'm his manager, but I feel like, well, he's starting at the same time I started. When I was 14, he's about to be 14 in October. So I'm like, I don't want to be like hovering over him and those things, but I'm like, I'm available.
Right.
Anything you need. And he asked me questions, but I like that he's like trying to figure it out as well. He has a different sound, but it sounds good, and it's really cool to see. So
That's dope.
Yeah.
K-Drama, thanks for checking out this episode of the Trust Bell City podcast, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Oh
for
yeah,
being
my
on.
honor, truly, man. This is
Appreciate
great.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate you. It was
Peace.
good. Peace.